Hey guys, I am editing another video today. In fact, a few videos from Rod Miller. Now, this here, there's lots of little white sparkling lights. Definitely a lot going on. And Rod said that he was holding the camera very still, so the lights are moving this way. Notice how big they were. He said they jumped up at him and then seemed to go back where they were, and he described them as balls of energy. So what I'm going to do is, as I always do, adjust the brightness and the contrast and slow it down a little bit, maybe zoom in if I can. So here, if I adjusted the brightness and the contrast, I notice this light kind of fluttering up, and I find this interesting because a lot of these lights flutter like insects. It even leaves a trail of residue behind it. Again, something very common with the insect-like lights. Here it pauses, and then it glitches and goes away. So here I've zoomed in, adjusted the brightness and the contrast. This is extreme brightness. And notice how you can predict where the light is going to move. Okay, little bits appeared and the light moved in that path while leaving residue behind it. And you see that little square there? It's an almost square, like a grid. That's extremely common. Here, I've lowered the brightness all the way down just to see a different perspective. Now, I'm sure you noticed the red light there. It looks like it's connected to another light beneath it. So here I've adjusted the brightness and the contrast, and notice how it leaves residue behind it. Now here we can tell where the light is going to appear because the lines show up before the light itself. Now that's extremely interesting. Why would the perimeter of the light appear first? Now here's another video. This has a blue light with some red lights, again flashing in and out very quickly. Same thing here. We can tell where the lights will be and where they have been. They're exactly a perfect example. The lights are so bright that even reducing the brightness 100%, it's still just white and washed out. We really can't see what is in the middle of that light source. It's just so bright. Here we can predict a light would appear and we would have been right. Notice that some of the lights are round and others are strange shapes. Another indicator that these lights are not made of any sort of material mass. As Rod said, they seemed like literal balls of energy. I think we really need to question, like I said, why the light perimeter is appearing before the light itself. How is that possible? And why are they coming up in lines and straight angles? a random purple light there. Now, some lights seem intelligent, they seem to move with purpose, but these lights here don't really seem to have any sort of sign of intelligence. Not saying that they aren't, but we're not getting any indicator of that here. Now remember that red light that we saw that was kind of moving around randomly off to the right? Well, I was interested in that, so I'm going to go ahead and focus in on it. And you can see now that it's actually not a red light. I've upped the brightness, and there's the red, but the light is actually still there. We just aren't able to see it unless I apply the increased brightness. Here there's that strange angle and a glitch, and it's very common for a light to appear in straight lines and angles, to pause, and then a massive glitch will come, and then the light will disappear, and then reappear just like that. There's no rhyme or reason to the light. It's able to change shape, color, brightness, and size. You saw the red perimeter of the light appear, and we knew a light would show up inside of that perimeter, and we were right. There it is. There's that pause, that residue, and then the glitch, and then it disappears. Again, very common. So much so that I can actually predict when it's going to happen, no matter what video of lights I'm looking at. Now the question is, what is the light made of? Where is it getting its energy? How is it changing color? What does the color change represent or indicate? And why do the lights appear with the lines and the angles? The squares here you're seeing, they're called digital artifacts, but they seem to interact with the lights, or somehow the lights affect how the camera reads the light signature. That's it, food for thought. I'd love to hear what you have to, what your opinions are, what you think it might be. Leave it in the comments. I'd love to have a discussion about it so we can all learn a little bit more.